Hello my beautiful ladies, welcome to a new video. Today I will be sharing with all of you my top 5 favorites in the realm of beauty and spirituality, because you know that's what we talk about right here. Make sure you stay to the end if you want to know one of the best recommendations that I believe it's really going to help you in your spiritual awakening journey. And also don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you are notified of every single time that I upload a new video. So we're going to begin with the Anima Mundi Blue Lotus Flower Tea, also known as the flower of intuition. So you heard that right. The beautiful thing about this flower and this tea and how it came into my life was around 2 years ago when I found myself in the deepest end of my spiritual awakening and a lot of endings were happening. So it was a lot for me to process. And the blue lotus is a flower that is filled with light. If you're an intuitive person, or if you're able to sense energy or see energy, you might see that the blue lotus has a lot of white, vibrant energy. It's a very powerful, potent energy. So not only is it good for the nervous system, if you're feeling stressed out, it's gonna help soothe you if that's something that you're looking for, just like lavender, lemon balm, or passion flower tea. All of those help just calm you down and soothe you like a really beautiful, big, warm hug from your grandmother or mama. The blue lotus is called the flower of intuition because it helps you have an experience lucid dreaming, deeper dreaming. It heightens your consciousness. It helps you tap easier into higher states of consciousness. It helps with your meditation practice. Even though meditation in itself is powerful, sometimes for me, when I smoke cannabis, I do have an altered state of consciousness that takes me to such a beautiful place where my ego does not reside. With meditation, however, I've been able to tap into that state of consciousness without having a plant induce that. But if you do want to experience more euphoric feelings, more blissful feelings, this is what that does without that feeling of getting high, like cannabis, right? So it is a psychoactive. You can also smoke it, which I have not smoked, but I'm really interested in actually smoking the blue lotus flower. I do have the Sacred Smoke by Anima Mundi also, which I haven't smoked either, and I've had it for several years now. But because I haven't bought any blunt paper. The blue lotus flower also has a very deep connection with ancient Kemet, which is now modern day Egypt. And I've shared this before, but I've been really interested in my favorite style of yoga. It's actually ancient Kemetic yoga. The poses of the goddesses and the gods and everything about it just really activates me spiritually, and it really connects me. And the blue lotus has a very long history with ancient Kemet, with Egypt. And it's also believed that Cleopatra would take her famous milk baths and she would also put the blue lotus flower in there. So I think that's really beautiful to know. It's also an adaptogenic, so it goes into your body and it just goes into whatever area of your body needs the healing. So it helps with your body, your physical body also. For me, it goes deeper than that. I just love how the light and the healing, the essence, the spirit of the blue lotus goes into your body and it just looks for healing. Anywhere where there's darkness, what it did for me, not only physically, but I feel like when it goes into my system, it's just looking for any kind of darkness where light can be illuminated in. So it goes into your spirit, into your soul, into your mind, and into your physical body with any physical symptoms that you might be experiencing, and it just provides a lot more love. The blue lotus is also associated with the third eye chakra and also the crown chakra. So if you are interested in experiencing the lucid dreaming or the deeper states of dreaming, those different levels of consciousness, I would recommend a tea before bed, or a tea whenever you're gonna do something, some kind of inner work. I would recommend having the blue lotus, having her by your side to support you through that journey as well. That's how I like to envision it, at least. And I also wanted to talk about just really briefly about the journey of the blue lotus flower. So the blue lotus, the seed starts as, you know, this tiny seed at the bottom of muddy water, dark, murky, dirty water. And as it's making its journey, it encounters a lot of blocks. maybe it hits a rock, maybe it hits the root of another tree and it gets stuck there. But as it gets stuck there, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger until it breaks away through that. And it goes up again, and then it comes in contact with another block, and it gets stronger there until eventually it makes its way into the top of the water, and it goes through the water, and it blossoms into this beautiful, vibrant flower full of light. And that's how I see our emotional journey, our spiritual journey, our journey of just being a human also. All of the roadblocks, everything that we encounter that is not so pleasant, how it only makes us stronger. And I don't know, I just find that to be so beautiful. Next up, I have the Freedom Deodorant. This is one of my favorite deodorants, guys, because it's vegan, it's clean, it's cruelty-free. It doesn't have any aluminum, no toxic ingredients also in it. It's also woman-owned, it's made in the USA, and it smells wonderful. So this one is the Magic Lavender Scent. I also love the packaging because it's really easy to just apply. You just twist it up like this. But this is plastic, which is recyclable, and then the container here, the carton container, is also biodegradable, which is really cool. It's very gentle on the skin also, but powerful enough. So if you're even running a triathlon or you're doing something super intense or you do experience a lot of sweating and odor, this is gentle enough for your body and safe enough for your body, but also powerful enough to prevent any type of odor coming through. It doesn't leave any white residue also, which is really great. I would also recommend this if you have children who are 11 or preteens or teenagers and you want something a lot healthier for them. I would recommend this for them if they love the Magic Lavender or the unscented one, which is the one that my 11-year-old boy uses. I feel confident as a mom to give him this type of deodorant and not use the other brands which are filled with so many toxic chemicals that just seep into the bloodstream. So if you are also interested in making a change, if you are becoming a lot more conscious about the products that you put onto your skin and you want to make a change, the deodorant for me was one of the easiest changes that I started to make as far as switching from a toxic product to something clean, natural, that's not going to harm you and the planet. They also have the Freedom Shower Spray, which smells so good. I love aromatherapy and I love treating myself to so many different things. So this is a really great way to just make your showering experience a lot more 5-star luxury spa. Like that's what you're doing when you're just simply misting with eucalyptus oil. So next up, we're gonna talk about a book. This one is The Law of Attraction, The Teachings of Abraham by Esther and Jerry Hicks. Now, I've been introduced to the law of attraction for many, many years, but to be honest with you, that's not something that I used to practice on a daily basis. It's not something that I was intentional about, the power of your thoughts. This book here has taught me so much about really understanding the law of attraction and how your thoughts actually create your reality. Because there's so many things that we just hear people say, think positive, you know, hold a high vibration, like all of these things we hear all the time, and they get to the point where you're just like cliche almost. But these laws are universal, not only on planet Earth, but the universe, universal laws. And I've been highlighting so much from this book, and it's so easy to read, but you really have to understand and pay attention to what you're reading. You know, because you can read think positive thoughts, but if you don't really understand what the power behind that statement does, it's gonna create no kind of effect in your life. And it just made me realize how much I didn't, because the law of attraction is working regardless if you are thinking positive intentionally or if you're just on a repetitive negative cycle of thinking. So what it's helped me do is recognize that I am creating my own reality at every single moment, and that in the past I wasn't intentional at all. I've been teaching what I've been learning also to my hubby, because if we're both applying the law of attraction together, it just makes us so much more powerful as a duo. And also we are partners, you know, we're husband and wife, so everything that we do it as a team. All of our decisions are as a team, me and him. So just imagine if one person is not on this kind of way of thinking and the other one is, and you're both working as a team, it's kind of contradicting the energy. So it's very powerful if both members, for me and my hubby, if we both have this knowledge and we both apply it. If you are wanting to get into the law of attraction and positive thinking and attracting and creating the life that you want to experience, this is a really great way, if not the only way, to get introduced into that topic, because these are the teachings. The last one that I have here that I was really excited to talk about, guys, I took some notes on this. It's a documentary about awakening and seeking inner wisdom. And the reason that I wanted to mention it is because I found myself deeply and profoundly moved by this documentary. I actually watched it on Gaia, and it's also available on YouTube if you want to buy it. But if you have a membership on Gaia, that you can just watch it there, which is where I watch all the good stuff. I'm also really into aliens, so it's a very vulnerable documentary of this man going on a journey of being unhappy. And it's a true story. It's a documentary. He's unhappy with all of the success, all of the material stuff that he's acquired, but he's still experiencing a lot of emptiness inside. And that's something that I could definitely relate to in my 20s. I feel like when I was at the peak of my old career, I was experiencing a lot of abundance in every which way that you can imagine, but I was really miserable. And then just the other day that I was talking to my husband, I'm like, I don't want that life. Like, for example, there's a lot of people who want to be famous. These people don't know the sacrifice that people are making, like your favorite artists are making in order to perform, to be rich and famous. And so that's something that when I was little, I was like, yeah, I would like to be rich and famous one day. Why not? It sounds cool. You have all this money, you get to travel everywhere, people know your name. And then when I got a taste of that in my own way in my 20s, I lived in constant stress. I was constantly pushed to be in the center of things that were extremely uncomfortable for me. And I had no boundaries. I literally had no idea who I was, so I had no boundaries, and I just kept saying yes to a lot of things. I traveled a lot. I would go back and forth to New York, and I would sometimes not even be in New York for 24 hours. I would just land, sleep for a little bit, go on set, do my thing, and then get on an airplane and fly back home. And I would do this constantly, and it was very stressful. I was very unhealthy and everything. And I realized this is not the life that I want. And I was having this conversation with my husband the other day about, like, really takes a lot of sacrifice to have that. And some people don't know that it's really not what it seems. It seems glamorous on the outside, but there's a lot of stress, late nights, heartaches, health issues that go into it, a lot of pressure, a lot of exerting of energy, a lot of things that really are not worth fame or money. Not to say that you don't deserve it, because you do, but when that becomes the goal and when you constantly are searching outside for things to make you happy, like accomplishments or a house or a car or fashion and clothing and shoes and labels and status and numbers and popularity and acknowledgement, and validation, all of these things are not up to you to control. Like, those things are here one moment and gone the next. So it's really a movie about seeking the answers within, seeking that state of peace and fulfillment within you that is there, and it's just getting rid of all of the conditioning. And he even talks to his dad in the movie, and you can see that his dad, with all due respect to his dad is, at that time of making the movie, he was so out of tune with it. So he was trying to have this conversation in a coffee shop with his dad about how he went to India and South America to experience ayahuasca and, seek these answers that he's been seeking, and travel to India and speak to sages and stuff like that. And his dad was very like, you went all the way to the other side of the world to find yourself? Very much like that, like not understanding. And I'm sure from conversations I've had with people in the community of Sweet Soul, when you are going through the spiritual awakening, sometimes your friends and family don't get it and they think you're crazy. And that's something that I've experienced also, not directly from my friends and family directly, because they've been extremely supportive of my journey, all of them. Well, the ones that I'm really close to, my mom, my sisters, my hubby, and my close friends have been very supportive about it. But there has been moments where people, I talk to them about the things that I'm doing in meditation, and I'm like, I would recommend if you do meditation to help you deal with this, that, and the fourth. And they're like, yeah, okay, no. Like, no, I'm not doing that. We don't do that here. Like, what do you mean meditation? So I do get that. I also got that. So I related to so much of this. Meditation and self-inquiry are the two things that you need, the only two things that you need to go within and to find all the answers and to bump into your true self and to constantly ask and seek, who am I? Who am I? I'm Dulce Candy? No. Who am I? I'm Dulce. No. Who am I? You're right, who am I? And in meditation, you start to get that answer. You start to bump into that true self, that essence, that unchanging essence within you. How can we even tap into that true essence when all of the messages that are dominating our consciousness are so out of alignment with our actual worth? No wonder so many people feel unworthy. No wonder they feel like they are not good enough.